Hey everybody, welcome to Ukulele. I'm Bart and I'm going to teach you all kinds of stuff. Let's get started. The Big Eight. This is my choice of the 8 chords that I think you should learn first because you'll use them the most. They're relatively easy and they'll come in handy in lots of ways. They are C, C7, F, G, G7, A minor, and D minor. You might not know what these diagrams mean. You might not understand any of this yet, but you will. The reason I'm making this the very first lesson in this course, even though you might not know how to use this stuff yet, is that I want you to know where this stuff is so you can find it later on when you start to understand how to use these things, how to read the diagrams and what to do. So it's the very first thing. Later on, as you get better and you start to get an idea of what you're doing, you'll know to come back to the very first lesson for this instructional thing about how to play these 8 chords. Remember that I'll tell you more as we go along about how to read the diagrams and all that, so this is really just a placeholder kind of a thing. So it's here, you'll come back to it. C, C7, F, G, G7, A minor, and D minor. You'll find that these chords show up in lots of different songs and lots of patterns. You'll use these together because you hear a lot of the same chords in groups because it flows, it sounds good, and because it's easy for your fingers to transition from one to another. Sometimes you go from this set of chords to this one and it seems weird and difficult to play, but as a beginner, you're going to see a lot of the beginner and the easier songs and the easier exercises using these chords in sequences where when you change from one chord to another, it's this set of chords because there are lots and lots of other chords. We'll get into those some other day. But right now, like I said before, just to clarify, you might not understand how to read this stuff or what I'm even doing here, but when you get to the lessons that come after this and you start to understand what to do, this is where you come back so that you can get a closer look at how to play these chords. And I'll give you a close-up of my fretting hand to make it easier on you. C. Your ring finger goes on the 3rd fret, 1, 2, 3rd fret of the high string, which is the bottom string physically, but the highest tonally, the A string. Play that note, and then strum all 4 strings. For a C7th, use the same string, but go down to the 1st fret. So 3, 2, 1 with the index finger. Strum all 4. That's a C7th. For an F, take this finger, go up 1 string right there to the 1st fret of the E string, and use the middle finger to go on the 2nd fret of the G string. Strum all 4. For a G, use your index finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the highest string, which is the A string, highest tonally, bottom physically, and then your ring finger goes on the 3rd fret of the E string, which is in between those other 2. Strum all 4. The bottom string, the G here, is open, so no finger on that one. For the G7, put your index finger on the 1st fret of the E string, which is the 2nd from the floor. That one. Add your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, and your ring finger down at the bottom there on the 2nd fret of the high string, the A string, and strum all 4. And once again, the G string there is left alone. Played, but not fretted. For an A minor, take your middle finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the G string, which is the one closest to your nose, right there. And that's it. Strum all 4. A minor. For a D minor, put your index finger on the 1st fret of the E string. That's the 3rd from your nose, 2nd from the ground. That note. Put your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the string above it, the C string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, the one closest to your nose. Strum all 4. And for an E7, put your index finger on the corner there on the first fret of the G string, your middle finger on the second fret of the next string, the C string. The next string is open, and the ring finger goes on the second fret of the highest string sonically, lowest physically, right there, the A string, and strum all four. That's an E7. And that's the Big Eight! You did it! You'll know to come back to the very first lesson for this instructional thing about how to play these 8 chords.